Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a brand new episode of Doc Talks, your weekly guide to better health, understanding the medical and behavioral issues that matter most to you and your family. In today's episode, we talk about autism. Autism is a different world that cannot be measured by traditional standards. It is a unique way a child sees life and understands the world around them. It may appear as difficulty in speaking, avoiding communication, or repetitive behaviors, but at the same time, it may hide talents and creativity that need to be discovered. Today on Doc Talk, we highlight this topic. And our guest today is Dr. Zainab Alsahhaf. She'll be discussing this with us. Before that, we'll take a moment and learn more about our guest. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. Now that we've learned more about our distinguished guest, we are joined with them in the studio. Hello, Dr. Zainab Alsahhaf. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, first and foremost, doctor, how has social media changed childhood today? It seems like the landscape is completely different.
Well, social media has transformed childhood in so many ways.
Yes.
So if you want to talk about the positive sides, you know, there's easy access to knowledge, information, creative outlets, educational material, and they can also easily connect to their friends and family. On the other side, it comes with its own difficulties and challenges. You know, on the other hand, young children might be exposed to inappropriate content or, you know, aggressive and harmful content. And also there's the increased risk of cyberbullying. You know, the social media and the internet is a rich ground for comparison, especially teenagers and adolescents. They will have unhealthy and toxic comparisons with other peers and other friends, which can negatively impact their body image and self-esteem. So it has both its positives and negative.
So on that note, is it fair to say that there are some ages maybe we should delay the use of this type of thing, and why?
Yes, definitely. See, most social media platforms, they have age restriction.
Yes.
Of at least 13 years of age. And most, you know, developmental experts even advise delaying the use of social media further. And we have seen, you know, some countries recently, like Australia, they increased the age of accessing a social media platform to 16 years of age. And here's why. Because, you know, young children and adolescents and teenagers, they still are not, you know, cognitively and emotionally mature to the level where they can navigate the challenges they are exposed to on this virtual world and the social media. They don't have that critical thinking or analysis. Sometimes they cannot handle, you know, toxic comments and criticism. And they are very vulnerable at that age. They can be victims of scams easily. And as we said, sexual exploitation. And let me tell you, with my work with the child protection team, I have met children who were groomed and who were abused through social media platforms.
And that is why it's important to raise awareness about such issues. Now, doctor, when does a child's use of the internet become an addiction that requires intervention? When can we draw the line, let's say, and make some boundaries and do an intervention for that?
So a child's use of the internet becomes problematic and an addiction that requires intervention when it negatively impacts their daily activities. Mm-hmm. So if you see your child spending excessive hours online, they're neglecting their sleep, they're suffering from insomnia, staying overnight, having sleep disturbance, They are becoming increasingly isolated, only spending time in their room on, scrolling on social media, not hanging out with their friends and family, neglecting their hobbies. If you notice, there's a drop in their grades at school. If you see the teachers are complaining about their academic performance. If you also notice behavioral changes, if they're becoming increasingly irritable or anxious, angry or aggressive, then these signs are very concerning and require intervention.
Red flags,
Yes,
basically.
yes, definitely.
So we touched on this already, but let's expand on the difference between healthy and excessive use, and how can parents tell, basically?
Healthy use of social media and the internet is all about balance. So you have to have an open conversation with your child and agree on specific screen time, and you set clear boundaries on the use of the internet. And it's not only about the time, it's also about the quality and the content that your child is following or watching. It's very important. So it's all about balance.
Well, Doctor, would like to pause there as we do have a report, and we'll be back to our conversation. Dear viewers, we have prepared this report. Of course, our camera crews have been working very hard to bring you the best content. So let's watch this report together, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, and I'm still joined here in the studio with our distinguished guest, Dr. Zainab Alsahhaf. Now, Doctor, we move on to diagnosis and early handling. Can you tell us about a definition of cyberbullying, and how can we distinguish it between traditional bullying?
Okay. So honestly, basically they're the same thing, but cyberbullying happens in the virtual world, while conventional bullying happens in our real world. So if your child is exposed to any type of toxic material or toxic comments, hateful comments from their peers or friends, anything that destroys their self-image, making fun of them, making fun of the way their body looks, making fun of their families, being racist towards them for any reason, targeting their ethnic background, all through the internet and social media platform. This is all considered cyberbullying that we need to protect our children from.
Of course. So is there an age group that is more exposed to cyberbullying?
Well, it happens among all age groups. And I think it's very common among young adolescents and teenagers. But I have noticing an increasing pattern that it's happening increasingly among younger children. And we did not see that before. Bullying is very common, among teenagers in high school. But now even at in preschool age and younger age, you can see bullying. So everybody's vulnerable.
So what are some of the signs that indicate that a child is being bullied?
Yeah, so I always, encourage parents to have a strong bond with their children and notice any behavioral changes. So behavioral changes and mood changes can be one of the earliest signs that your child is a victim of bullying. So if they suddenly become increasingly withdrawn, avoiding social interactions, becoming isolated, developing symptoms of anxiety, irritability, having panic attacks, maybe becoming more aggressive.
Sometimes a child, though, hides what they are going through out of fear or shame. So what should a parent do in this type of circumstance?
Well, we always go back to strong bond and communication with your children. Always create a safe space. Make your children comfortable to come back to you and talk to you about anything. Tell them clearly, I trust you, you are safe, you can talk to me about anything without judgment. Please, if you see anything online or any comments or any content that made you feel uncomfortable or confused, please don't hesitate to come back to me. So make your children trust you and create a very strong bond with your children. Don't judge them, don't yell at them, because when you yell or punish, they will stop coming back to you and telling you anything.
So create a safe space
for them. Safe space of sharing, yes.
So sometimes bullying in general or cyberbullying has short and long-term effects.
Yes.
Can you talk more about that? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we touched upon them also briefly.
Especially psychologically.
Yeah, so again, the most important thing that once you notice this psychological impact, don't leave it unnoticed. You have to work on it, because if you don't tackle these psychological issues on time, it can have long-lasting effect that can last into adulthood, and they will end up having problems and persistent psychological issues, maybe untreated mental health conditions way into their adulthood if you don't manage the psychological impact on time.
Okay, so doctor, now can you tell us, if a child goes through, let's say, a painful bullying experience, how can they regain their confidence?
With the right support. So to create confidence in your child, you have to have a strong bond with your child. Yes. So raising your child confidently is allowing them to speak out, nurturing your child, paying attention to your child's need, providing emotional support to your child, and attending to their both physical and emotional needs. In this way, you will raise a confident child that is resilient. And the skill of resilience is very important. Yes. Being nurturing towards your children, it creates a very strong, independent, confident, and resilient child that can, go back to his baseline, and they can do emotional regulation when faced with difficult situations and adversities such as bullying.
Of course. Now, doctor, we have to take a short break, and we'll be back to dive into more questions, of course. Now, dear viewers, let's take this short break and watch this report together, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. If you're just joining us, you're watching Doc Talks, your weekly guide to understanding the medical and behavioral topics that matter most to you and your family. And I'm still joined in our studio today with our distinguished guest, Dr. Zainab Alsahhaf. Now, Dr. Zainab, we move on to this segment of myth or fact, where you will basically uncover some of the misconceptions that we might have about this topic. Now, for the first one, if a child's account on social media is private, then he is or she is completely safe.
That's not true, because there's nothing 100% private on social media. And even private accounts with the highest level of security can be hacked.
Having many friends online means the child is social and happy.
That's not necessarily true, because, most friends online, they're actually strangers. So to actually say that your child is social, he should have successful relationships on real life and able to establish friendships in real life, not only online.
That's true. Some of the accounts also can be fake. You never know.
Yes, fake accounts. Yeah.
So now, a child's early use of technology is proof of intelligence and talent.
That's not necessarily true, because use of devices is not a measure of intelligence. There are many forms of intelligence among children, and one of them is social intelligence and emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And that's not measured by using devices.
Okay, so a complete ban of the internet protects the child.
In my opinion, that's again not true, because let me tell you, children, they have their ways. They can go around it. They are very tech savvy. So banning is not the only solution. The best solution is to empower the child with knowledge and information. That's the way to protect your child, and of course with constant supervision.
Of course. Now, cyberbullying is just joking among friends.
Definitely not true. Any form of bullying, and including cyberbullying, is not a joke. It can have very long-lasting and harmful psychological and emotional impact on children.
A child knows how to protect themselves online.
Alone, children are not able or mature enough
So they need supervision.
Definitely, they need continuous education and supervision.
Now, this next one, we did talk about it during a break, which is online games are safe because they are not direct communication.
That's again not true. Lots of popular online games has features where you can communicate with strangers, and we are not sure about the age of those strangers.
Yes.
A lot of child molesters actually use those online games to target young children.
And we see also recently about these different challenges that they have for children. They have them doing all sorts of things that can be very detrimental to their safety.
Yes, and we've all, heard the stories and read the news about, the trends and the harmful challenges that they ask children to do that unfortunately led to very detrimental outcomes and very unfortunate outcomes, including self-harm and death.
Indeed. Okay, so doctor, we move on to the next one, which is cyberbullying is a temporary problem that goes away with time.
Again, that's not true. As we have mentioned earlier, if you not manage the psychological impact on time and you don't stop the bullying, it can have very long-lasting effects.
Well, doctor, we want to pause here as we watch this report, and we'll be back to our questions. Dear viewers, don't go away. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. I'm still joined here with our distinguished guest in the studio, Dr. Zainab. Now, for this segment, we'd like to shift to the prevention aspect of cyberbullying and the digital parenting. How can we build a safe digital culture inside the home?
Well, to create a safe digital culture, and the best way to teach your child balanced use of this digital world is to model healthy behavior yourself as a parent. You cannot expect your children to use the internet wisely if you're scrolling all the time. So you should have, screen safe zones, screen free zones, especially during, meal times, during bedtime. Practice good sleep hygiene where you avoid, using smartphones or any screens at least 1 to 2 hours before sleep. Always talk to your children about internet safety. Always, supervise and review the content they are watching. Every now and then, talk to your child. Tell them, did they see, something, that is inappropriate or confusing? Did they receive any hateful comment? educate them. Also, educate them to be, polite and respectful when using the internet. Tell them that any comment you post on social media platform can have consequences. So they have to be very careful. So it's basically by communication and education. That's how you encourage a digital safe family.
Of course. So elaborating or expanding on that, is it appropriate to set clear rules at home for internet use in every family?
Yes, definitely, because setting clear boundaries and agreeing on the rules can protect your child.
Of course.
And based on the child's age, you can, tweak the rules a little bit or the restrictions. So, for example, with younger children, you need, more frequent supervision and strict rules. However, with, teenagers, you can have an open communication about the safety concern, but you can have a trusting relationship and give them some flexibility. But rules are definitely very important.
So what is the best way to set screen time for children?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. There are actually published recommendations by the American Academy of Pediatrics about the best practice in screen time in children. And it says that, no screen time for children less than 2 years of age.
Okay.
Absolutely no screen time. And between 2 years and 5 years of age, screen time is limited to 1 hour per day. And you should focus on high quality content, and it should be co-viewed with the parents. You watch the show with your child. Then as the child ages, it's relationship and agreement between the child and the parents about the specific screen times and about the rules.
Now, how can we reduce the attachment to the virtual world? Can we do it like through activities and hobbies?
Yes, definitely. So to reduce attachment to the virtual world, you have to enrich the child's real life and real world with fulfilling and exciting activities. So, you can see what's interesting to them. If they like arts, crafts, enroll them in sports activities, swimming classes, martial arts. Spend time with your child. Don't leave them alone with their phones or tablets. Actually have quality time with your children as a family. Sit together, talk together, play board games.
Make memories.
Exactly, make memories, tell them stories, listen to their stories when they come back from school or hang out with their friends. So that's the best way to reduce the attachment.
So is it useful for parents to share some of these games with their child to understand what they are doing exactly?
Yeah, I've tried that. Yes, it can be useful. Yeah, because it can be a way of indirectly monitoring what your child is doing, and it's a way also of developing a bond with them. Yeah, so it can be helpful to use it as a way to bond with your children, and also to know the privacy settings and the safety settings in those games.
Exactly, and what they're exposed to, basically.
Yes, definitely, yes.
So now we shift gears, Doctor, to the schools and their responsibilities. What is the role that they have in discovering these types of cases early?
Well, schools and educators have a very vital role. So they have a similar role of the parents, but at school, they are the eyes and ears of the parents at school. So they should observe, any behavioral changes, in the student, any mood changes, any deterioration in the school performance, and also build a trusting relationship with the students.
Yes.
So they can comfortably go back to their teachers and disclose any form of abuse that happened.
Well, Doctor, we are almost at the end. So before we conclude, would you like to add something or have a message to our dear audience that are watching at home?
Well, I just want to tell everyone that the virtual world and the world of the internet is here to stay. And our role as parents and educators is not to fear it, but to encourage and educate our children to use it wisely and safely and with balance.
Well, Dr. Zainab Alsahhaf, pediatrician and member of the Child Protection Team, it was an absolute privilege, and thank you for your insight today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, dear viewers, that concludes today's episode of Doc Talks. We hope you enjoyed the journey as much as we did. We hope to see you soon. Thank you for keeping us company, and goodbye.